security arm of the government has bought or purchased is also riot gear.
Yeah, I think Major General Kaiseri largely is doing very well, and the budget is going to security. I don't think anybody can complain about that. But then one hopes again, you know, Kenya being Kenya, that the acquisition of this helicopter has not made some helicopter millionaires, instant millionaires through, you know, rough procurement deals.
And also hoping that the helicopter is actually roadworthy or airworthy, if that's what they're called. Because we've had helicopters that have been bought and literally came and they were grounded.
And again, as the president said when he was in the National Assembly a few days ago, that again it was not vendor-driven. It's not somebody who came and said, I know I can get for you a chopper somewhere, so let's bring it. And then he gets paid a huge commission for this.
Absolutely. Finally, let's look at the Star, where we have the headlines, and Uhuru targets Kisii Kamba with goodies again, looking at a strategy or a style that probably the president is implementing in trying to woo voters come 2017.
Yeah, because he's telling, I mean, from his behavior, he's telling people that if your leaders are not getting along with me, then you're not going to get a road up in your village. So I think we should run away from this, and there should be civic education that the man he's talking about, in fact, is passed by the National Assembly. So it's not doing this because he's magnanimous, but that's what he's expected to do as a head of state.
Absolutely. MPs failed to pass gender rule despite president's plea. That's on page 6. Actually, it's not just the president, but we also have the opposition leader had also, you know, asked those in his side of the party to ensure that that goes through.
But again, you know, when you look at it, there's a section of society which begins to wonder, why should ladies be given special opportunities? Why can't they be like Martha Karua, go out and fight? And another section says, maybe this is Africa and we don't treat ladies with a lot of care. But I think at the end of the day, if a lady comes out and proves herself, like Grace Agot or Phoebe Asio or Martha Karua, people will give you the opportunity to serve.
And of course, the other question would be, how do you even give them, how do they get there? Because do we just fill those positions with women for the sake of meeting the 2/3 gender rule? Or how do we qualify that they actually qualify to be there?
When, you know, normally the people who get these nominations are the ones who are very close to the party leadership. Because if you want to get a nomination and the party leader doesn't know you, then you'll never get the opportunity. So again, people say that those nominations are not anchored on merit. There's no clear matrix that if there are 10 opportunities to nominate ladies, this is what you must do. So, but if you know the party leader and maybe you've had the opportunity of having a cup of coffee, then your name is sent to IBC, you find yourself in the National Assembly. But again, maybe make another question we need to ask ourselves is, the nominated members of parliament, the female, so far what has been their contribution? Have they done something that one can say, if they were not present in the two houses, then this wouldn't have been done? And when you try to search for that, you may spend an entire day
looking for it. All right, finally, let's look at page 24. Forced into exile after post-election violence, former AP cop Kaunya now returns to tell his story. And he left fearing for his life after the post-election violence, but well, now he returns to tell his story.
When you read this story, there is much more than meets the eye. And I think for Kaunya, he is well advised to keep quiet, because he's going to open unnecessary wounds and make the nation think about him twice. So he should just keep quiet. But again, when you look at his body language, he's probably interested in an elective seat. He wants to milk this situation and run for probably parliament.
Yeah, I was just about to say the timing is rather, you know, one would of course be left wondering why come in now, whereas we've had, we're now what, 7-8 years after the post-election violence. And well, one could also argue and say that there is no time that's good or bad for you to come out and say it's when you're ready. And maybe now is when he's ready to tell the world what happened.
Because, you know, when he was going to exile, he claimed that his security in Kenya was not guaranteed. So I don't know whether Kaiseri has given him a dedicated security or what has changed at this stage. But again, you know, there's much more than meets the eye.
Absolutely. And if we backtrack a little bit, there's a story here which I thought was rather interesting, and I don't know if you managed to watch that yesterday on page 14. Collateral damage in bigger scheme, says besieged to Noi, and yesterday they were reenacting how the money that was claimed to be given to Judge Tunoi was transferred from one vehicle to the other. And as much as he said that it took him 3 minutes to do that, they did it in about 35 to 45 seconds. So, of course, the defense there is going to tear into his, story.
You see now, over here, it's probably Kiplagat and Justice Tunoi who actually know the truth. And this case, or rather this issue, it may walk free because of lack of evidence. But really one wonders, I mean, when a judge of this stature is accused of participating in corruption, even him, why can't he go home?
Just call it a day and say, look.
Because you know, in other advanced parts of the world, when anybody casts aspersion on your integrity, you're not supposed to let your reputation be dragged through the mud. Of course, you may say that I'm innocent. If I resign, I'll be accepting liability. But when you see a man of this stature, highly regarded in society, going through all this, and then Kiplagat was really struggling. And when you look at